Before we get started with today's show, I just want to remind you that you can save 10% on your order with Symphony of Balloons, a luxury balloon company that also offers a 360 camera. Just simply mention you heard about them on Breaking Through Glass Ceilings. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I am back with another episode of Breaking Through Glass Ceilings. But before we get into today's show, I am very excited to announce that I am an official affiliate and ambassador for Vertical Athletics. You see this headband, Baltimore Orioles, that sweatband on my head. You can get one. And I'm going to put the link in the bio where you can save 10% off your order. So make sure y'all check out Vertical Athletics on Instagram. So much great stuff right there, especially if you're a baseball fan, if you're a soccer fan. This, obviously, you can see it keeps the hair out of my face, especially when I'm working out. I love it. And, shout out to them over there. Support them. Like I said, 10% off by using the code that is in the bio. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very excited about today's show. I know it's been a while. I'll be honest with you. Burnout is real. I could sit here and say, oh, yeah, I was busy. I was. But it also came with a little bit of burnout. As, be honest with you, I'm getting ready to go on vacation. And when I go on vacation, you will not see a tweet, a post, or nothing. Maybe I'll decide, but for the most part, nope. You won't see any of that because the brother is tired. I've been working hard. To be honest with you, I haven't had a vacation since, check this out, September 2021. Now, you could say April 2022, but I have a theory: when you take your children, it's not a vacation. It is a trip because you got to plan stuff. You got to do stuff for them. Where September 2021, I was able to go to Chicago and really have a vacation. So I'm excited about that. I tell anybody, please rest yourselves. I am blessed, fortunate to do exactly what I love, what I've dreamed of for years. But, I do need to hit the reset button. I'm not going to lie to you. But let's get today's show started. Now, one of the things that's kind of bothering me is the circulation of people commenting on Caleb Williams crying. Caleb Williams being a star quarterback for USC. And after he was lost, they showed the camera. The camera showed him crying. He was being consoled by his mother. And what was very irritating was the fact that so many people had stuff to say about it. They said it was weird. They said it was ridiculous that he was crying. Even saying as much as he's a mama's boy, and if you're a woman, you should be aware. I think, a few years ago, I was going to do a show and I was going to talk about how a lot of these debate shows and podcasts probably are not good for the mental health of the athlete. This is reason why. Now, Caleb Williams, everybody would say, oh, he's crying because he lost. I was watching an interview with the coach, Jonathan Coachman, and he talked about there was a time when he essentially got punished. He was doing an interview with Chris Van Vliet, and he got punished for not going to the tribute of the Troop show. And what they did was, and this is how you get punished in wrestling, for those who do not know, usually you get, beat up a couple extra times by a major wrestler. In this case, he got powerbombed a couple times or probably chokeslammed by The Undertaker. And then Batista had to give him his finisher. Undertaker even told him, "I'm sorry." Now, here's how he knew it was coming because obviously he's smart to the business. They said, "Okay, in the segment you're going to attack the Undertaker." Well, him being the heel and the heel commentator, he knew he wasn't going to attack the Undertaker just because. No, it was to attack the Undertaker so the Undertaker could beat him up. And afterwards, he said he was so angry. He had one of those angry cries. Like he said, "You ever been so angry that you cry?" That's the type of anger he had. And of course, it's easy to say Caleb Williams cried because he lost, but we don't know what happened. And I think it was uncalled for the cameraman to just put the camera on him. This man was having a moment. He was, you know, with his mother. Now, we talk about the quote, practice. We talking about practice. It was later revealed that Allen Iverson was upset because people was bringing that up, and he had just lost a family member, a close friend. And with that being the case, that was the last thing he was thinking about was practice. So you mean to tell me that we go and run with these narratives? We don't know why Caleb Williams was crying. Oh, he could have had he could have lost somebody, could have just found out some bad news. He could be crying because he lost the game and maybe he dedicated the game to somebody. Shoot, British Bulldog dedicated match to his sister and WWE changed the finish. Now, did he cry? No, not on camera at least. So I'm just not comfortable with people so quick to jump down Caleb Williams' throat and talk about, oh, well, he shouldn't be doing this and he should be doing that. Like, yo, let it go. You leave that man alone. College student, college kid. Even if he was Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, we saw Josh Norman go viral and become a GIF, and I'm guilty. I tweeted it. But we saw him become a GIF because he cried after losing the Super Bowl. But we always quick to say, protect your mental health. We quick to say it's important that you take care of your mental health. Well, sometimes crying is good for your mental health. Instead of bottling it in, sometimes you need to let it out. So that's the reason why I personally have an issue with people talking about him crying. Um, it's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. But let's move on. This past week, Nia Long sat down with young Jeezy. They had a very good conversation. I urge you to check it out. About an hour long. They talked about just a lot of things, but the main thing they talked about was Nia Long's relationship ending this last year. And Jeezy said, real niggas don't cheat. And I was looking at the Stephen A. Smith show, and he decided that Jeezy was crazy and it was ridiculous for Jeezy to say something like that. And he went on to say that real nigga, he shouldn't say that. He said, real nigga ain't going to, he wouldn't say the word, but he said, a real man is going to be real, understand what he has, but not jeopardize it. And what I thought was ridiculous was how fast Stephen A. Smith went to check Jeezy. And the reason why I think that was ridiculous is because when you really think about what happened, and she was talking about it, the main thing he wanted to bring up was the fact that she should, kind of keep her business to herself. Don't tell her, don't have everybody else in your business. And again, what makes this ridiculous is because what I personally thought that Stephen A. Smith was more about protecting Ime Udoka because of the whole NBA brotherhood. Now, the two was together from 2015 to 2022. And she said, she saw how, black people came to her defense. And as I'm watching this, I'm like, it was public information because the Boston Celtics made it public information. And I thought what Stephen A. Smith was saying was ridiculous. I understood exactly what Jeezy was saying. Now, if Stephen A. Smith would have said he agreed with Jeezy, but maybe Jeezy need to correct this, okay, fine. Because I don't think Jeezy was saying that a man who's looking elsewhere is cheating. He's saying a real nigga not gonna step out. They're gonna understand what they have. They're gonna want to be with whom they have. Stephen A. Smith was basically saying, nah, they'll look out, they won't step out, but they'll take a look at the menu, but then they won't order. So I thought this whole thing was ridiculous. And again, I just think Stephen A. Smith wanted to defend the guy because he wants to remain in the good graces of the NBA's, Ime Udoka, because, he's still around the league. I believe he may actually be the coach of the Houston Rockets. I may be wrong. But nonetheless, it was absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, he is the head coach of the Houston Rockets. That's what I thought. But it shouldn't have been. It shouldn't have been public at all. And she admitted that their relationship was rocky for a long time, but it seemed like everything was fine. And then this happened. And again, this didn't have to be public information. The Celtics put it out there. I'm going to take a quick break and I'll be back with a couple more things. But I want to let you know where you can get one of these breaking through glass ceiling shirts from. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to support this podcast by wearing a t-shirt, whether it's the one that says breaking through glass ceilings or the one that says no ceilings above success, simply go to foryourwear.com. Also, you can support some of your other favorite podcasts and content creators, including Those Wrestling Girls, Seahawk, and the Wrestling Club. And you can support some of your favorite independent wrestlers, including Jay Bougie, Trisha Dora, Chaz the Don. Shoot, all the Pure Ignorance is on there. So go on foryourwear.com, go under personalities, you'll find Brian H. Waters, and buy a t-shirt. And remember, I'll give you a shout out on the show. And I'm back, ladies and gentlemen. So support the show. Get a No Ceilings Above Your Success t-shirt. Get a headband. If you're a fan of the world champion Texas Rangers, you can get headbands. If you're a Nationals fan, you can get a headband. Obviously, if you want the Orioles, like I got, you can get it right there. They got other ones too. They got one that say Charm City. They got different variations. But yeah, definitely check out Vertical Athletics. Happy to be a new ambassador for Vertical Athletics. So just a quick announcement. You may have seen Wale Mania tickets are on sale officially. I think I'm going to drop the link to that as well. Yours truly will be in the building, third straight year, fourth Wale Mania, but this will be a third year I'll be working it. We are doing some stuff with The Ringer, live podcast for the Masked Man show. Last year's was amazing. We had the Bloodline. That was so much fun. I got a chance to talk to all three. Well, it was Solo, Jimmy, and Jay. Got to talk all of them. Even got a chance to talk to Trinity. She was the guest of honor. Got a chance to talk to her. And also talk to Jimmy, Jay, and Solo's mom, who was phenomenal. Wonderful lady. I said to her, I know you're proud just to see your boys up here on stage. There's some photos If you look on my social media, I definitely took some photos. If you look on the Ringer official Instagram, you'll see some things as well. So I definitely encourage y'all to check that out. But yeah, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Wale Mania will be the place to be that Thursday night before WrestleMania. So it's a great way to kick it off. If I'm you, I would arrive in Philly that Thursday morning or that Wednesday afternoon. Enjoy Wale Mania. Go to SmackDown, stand and deliver both nights of WrestleMania. You know, it's gonna be a movie, as they say. Let's move on now. The Rock. I was watching this interview with Trevor Noah. Rock says he was approached by both parties and asked, we got some data that says that, you have a chance at being president. And Rock said that he did not want to he really didn't want to get into politics. A lot of stuff he doesn't like about politics. And one of the things that he said too was he didn't want to do anything that kept him away from his two younger daughters. Says him and Simone, who you may know in WWE right now is Ava. Him and Simone essentially grew up together. He was young when he had her, but he said now, he likes being able to be there, the drop offs, the pickups, being at the school plays. And of course, he said they presented him with ways that, well, this president did it this way and this president did it that way. I don't foresee The Rock running for president. I don't want to see it, honestly. I want to see us get to a point where everybody likes the president and you don't, or if somebody who likes the president or if somebody dislikes the president, you don't automatically question their racial bias. And it's been that way, honestly, right since the Obama regime. So you take the Obama regime plus the Trump regime, what's this, 2023? So like the past 15 years. That's not saying I wouldn't want another black president, because I would, but I am saying I do want to hopefully see where we don't question somebody's racial bias, right? So like if a white person said they didn't like Barack Obama, the first thing, are they racist? What is it? If a black person said they like Donald Trump, you say, are they Uncle Tom? If a white person said they like Donald Trump, are they racist? So much of that going on. I don't want to get back to that. But, and it's spilled over to Joe Biden. He's president. But we'll see. But I don't want to see The Rock running for president. I still want that match, Rock and Roman. I know people think I'm crazy, but I do. But I want to see Roman Reigns, the tribal chief, hold on to that bad boy all the way through next year, passing this guy. Where is he? Passing this guy, Hulk Hogan. But he was successful this past weekend. Speaking of this past weekend, I want to give a huge shout out to those wrestling girls. Congratulations to Krista B and the wonderful, the most amazing Queen PR, as they celebrated 5 years, 5-year anniversary. I was honored to present them with a 5-year anniversary gift, that being their long awaited and coveted custom tag team championship belts. You can see it on my social media and you'll see the reactions. It was amazing. But congratulations to them. They earned it. 5 years to do anything is not easy. Hell, I've been doing this podcast. Wow, this is going on its 5th year. But it's not easy. It's not easy at all. So congratulations to them. It was great to be in the building. Brother Hugh, Brother Brandon came out. So many friends from the IWC, so many people that I've been blessed to meet over the years was out there. So I'm so happy and so blessed to be able to celebrate it with them. So before we get out of here, I was on Instagram, folks, and I'm pulling out my phone because I want to talk about this again because I don't believe what I saw, but I did. You know why? Because only Baltimore, only underscore Baltimore is where I saw it. And then the original source, WBAL. And what they learned is, and they reported, and this photo was taken or documented by Johns Hopkins Library, that in 2024, they are planning a public swimming event for the Inner Harbor. Now, if you've been to Baltimore, one of these special attractions is the Inner Harbor. If you've lived in Baltimore, more than likely you've been down by there. If you've been down there at night, the water is black. If you've been down there during the daytime, the water is black. There's no way in the world I would send anybody down to the Inner Harbor for a quick swim. Hell to the no. I think it's ridiculous. I think it's very ridiculous. People want to go down there, and this is no way. It's no way I would go down there. And I just think I don't know how in the world, I don't even see a scenario. As somebody who's worked in medicine, I don't see a scenario in how you clean that up. How do you clean that up by 2024? Folks, we're in November 2023. Even if you go to July 2024, that's how dirty the harbor is. But I digress. But yeah, I saw that. I thought it was ridiculous. And I'm like, ugh. So, but ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to this episode. Thank you for subscribing on YouTube. I'm trying to hit 500 very soon. So tell your friends to subscribe to my YouTube channel, my personal YouTube channel, youtube.com/bwatersproductions. Subscribe, drop me a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts and Spotify's podcast platform. You have not because you asked not. So I'm asking y'all to leave a comment, rate, subscribe, review, tell people. I'm looking to, just get more affiliate programs so I can save y'all some more money on some other stuff. So, I'm working hard over here. I got the wrestling realm going on still, obviously. And every Wednesday I'm doing TWG fan club. So folks, until the next time, do not let anybody place a ceiling above your success. So long, everybody. Podcasters and gamers, we all know it can be intense. We're talking, we're getting hype, we're passionate. Sometimes we need a boost. Well, you can get that by getting Rogue Energy. Rogue Energy is the #1 supplement for podcasters and gamers, and they have tons of different flavors, including Strawberry Burst, Tropical Breeze, and Cotton Candy. And you can save 10% by putting in the code Brian H at checkout. So go to rogueenergy.com and enter the code Brian H to save money.